Hello and welcome to the introductory video. Well, my name's Nick and this is the start of me kind of explaining, laying out what long COVID has been for me, how it's impacted life. So this is just going to be roughly 15 to 20 minutes. This is the second time I've done this video today, because with my brain fog, as stupid as it is, I've already recorded this once without the sound being done. So I'm a little bit more tired than the original video, so you have to excuse me a little bit. So let me give you just an outline of, and I'll try and keep it in some sort of order. So I caught COVID-19 back in 2019, although I didn't know at the time what it was. We caught it fairly early, big student population around us, and I think we caught it because I couldn't get out of bed or off the sofa for like 2 weeks. I was really bad. And then it wasn't like till later, a month later or so, that they started coming out with the symptoms. And I was like, oh, Laura, do you think that's what I had? I mentioned Laura there, my beautiful wife. She's going to have a big input into the channel, as are my children, Rose and Oliver. I'm aware that this is quite a sensitive thing for the family, very personal thing for me. So this is just going to be a pressure-free environment for us to be able to put things out there from, as I mentioned, from recipes, family life, bits that we're up to, trips, managing long COVID, dealing with long COVID, a vlog, warts and all, everything just out there. A safe space, because the amount that I've forgotten about video editing, all of that sort of stuff, this is kind of be like just rehoning my skills, a safe space for me as well to be able to get used to doing videos and working with the software again, because I've got no idea how to use the software right now. So this could end up being a video with me mucking up the intro, where I'm keep saying for like 4 or 5 times, hello, welcome to the other channel, and I'm just like, no, that's not what I'm doing, but hey. So yes, caught it, not understanding what it was, and then for the rest of that year I was kind of great moments of normality to feeling like someone's pulled the plug out of me, just kind of like randomly, and I'm like, whoa, what's happened there? And for me, there's always like this 10 projects on the go. I've got to be doing stuff, got to be just got to be active, just got to be doing projects. But it was kind of like not just the energy, it was like I couldn't even. So we've been trying to do these books, and my mind just unforgivingly wouldn't let me think. Just couldn't. And I'm trying to keep everybody happy. I'm trying to keep all of these plates spinning. And I got really ill. And I kept getting ill, not understanding what it was. It's like one of those things where you're just like, pull yourself together. And I couldn't pull myself together. Anyway, so I've got these peaks and troughs, and then eventually you get the vaccinations that come along and the booster jabs. Now, the first vaccination, on the build up to it, I was having a relatively good period. So I was getting out there, and I've got this course that I do, which is roughly 5 kilometers with a massive hill. It's a beast, and it's like a kilometer uphill. You're going up roughly over 120 meters in one point. It's like nasty. And I'm doing all of this, and the best time when I got the Strava app a little while ago was 26 minutes 12. And then I've been trying to cut. I remember having a sustained period of trying to beat, because whenever I exercise, I leave it all out there. It's all or nothing. And couldn't get below 28, 27. I couldn't get there. I'm just like, I was saying to Laura, I can't go any faster. This is just not normal for me. I'm expecting my times to tumble, and I can't. And she was kind of like, well, you're getting older. And I'm like, that's not the answer. Ivan, surely that's not it. No. And I'm like, it just didn't make sense. Couldn't make head nor tail of it. And then I'm carrying on. I'm trying to kind of, no. Anyway, I was conscious of having a jab and wanting to get my lungs healthy because there's all of this information out there, and I was just kind of like, oh gosh, I don't want to be having the family say goodbye to me because of the, So have the jab. I got really ill for 3 days, like stupidly ill. Fourth day, absolutely fine. So much so, like I felt like I could do cartwheels. It's like one of those ones. And so I was like, let's go and do a run. So I went out there, done a run, and unusually for me, I held back on the final part of the hill because I wasn't really going for time at that point. It was just kind of, I've been in bed, I've been quite active recently, feeling like I need to get the body going. Got to the point where I stopped my watch, and I think I was a second outside my PB. And I was like, how on earth did I just do that? So I was like, right, I'm going to go for it tomorrow. And so for me, I had the second day aches, all of that sort of lactic acid, all of that sort of stuff. And I went out there and I've gone for it. And I'm like, because Project 25 Minutes, trying to beat this 26:12 or 26:11, has been an ongoing thing for me for quite a while. And I've stopped the watch and I blasted right through 25 minutes and I've stopped it in 24 minutes. And I'm like, how have I just done, considering like before that, I'm like 27s anything 27 was a good time for me. I'm like, this makes no sense. How have I just got so much? How have I improved this much? So I then went out and I got down to 22. And I'm like, this is just crazy. I'm 5 minutes quicker, over 5 kilometers. And then I'm like, whoo, I can pick everything up again. I can get the channel going. I can do this, I can do that. I'm invincible. I'm back, baby. And no, I wasn't. It's like an oscillating sound wave. And I'm having these peaks. And these peaks can last a while. And then invariably, you just drop back down. And like it will happen. I can feel it. I can feel the fog building behind my eyes, my brain. This afternoon, I'm going to be wiped. The best way that I can describe long COVID for those who don't have it is like having a mobile phone, old mobile phone with a faulty charging cable. And the wire's broken and it takes being the wire in a certain weird position for you to be able to get a charge. That's sleep. And then your battery might or might not get charged. You think you're giving it the charge that you should be. You wake up absolutely tired, but then your battery's full and you're like, whoa, let's go. Not ever that. I can't remember the last time I felt, whoa, let's go in the morning. But full battery, one phone call and your battery's dead. That's long COVID. That is it. Sometimes the battery lasts longer for the day and you're like, sometimes the battery hasn't charged at all at night and you're just like, damn it, the cable wasn't in the right position. Whatever it is, you get, hopefully you get the analogy. That's, for me, that is my experience of long COVID. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's so debilitating and so frustrating. So much of your self-identity is wrapped up in what you do. Hello, I'm Nick and I'm an operations manager. Very sexy. And, then the conversation starts. When you turn around and say, hello, my name's Nick and I'm nothing. Because that's how I feel. Because I can't hold down a full-time job. Because I don't feel that I can offer if I can't commit and push somebody's business forward, I feel like I'm conning them. And I don't want to feel like that. I don't know whether today is going to be a good day or a bad day. I don't know if tomorrow is going to be a good day or a bad day. I'm living with not knowing when my energy is going to be bad for the next week. I don't know. I'm not getting the peaks so much anymore. Off the back of every every vaccination and every booster, that's 4 of them so far, I've seen an improvement. And now it just feels like I get a less of a rise and just as big a dip. And I want to get out there. I want to get a part-time job. At the moment, I'm not working. And there's so much guilt with that. And I want to. But my brain and my body and my energy levels, I just don't know what to do. My CV is a very good CV, from HACCP, auditing, training, creating training platforms, delivery, business efficiencies, improvement. You wouldn't believe. And even now when I say it, it's like Chinese hieroglyphics to me now. Not that I can't, but it's like the brain, you've got to retrain it, I think. You just got like a muscle, you just got to... And I think the hangover from my childhood is that bit where if I'm not bringing some like double what everybody else is to the table, me myself is just not worthy enough to be at that table. So I have to do double. And I struggle with that. This whole thing, one of my biggest struggles is trying not to have an impact on Laura and Rose and Oliver. And I worry about what they're having to deal with. I'm worried. I'm so sorry. I'm this perpetual guilt with Laura, because this is not what she married. This is not what she signed up for. And honey, if you're ever watching this, again, I'm so sorry that this is what I am right now. You deserve better. And I'm trying to do better. And I'm lucky that she is so loving. So I said that this was going to be the warts and all. And so with the journey, it's been going to the doctors and trying to make sense of what's happening to my body, because that's been a big frustration, because there's kind of, all this time I've been having blood tests, this test, and nothing that I could hang my hat on. I kind of felt I knew what it was before my doctors would confirm what it was. And the first thing they signed me off with, so I've got doctor's notes, I don't know who I'm going to give them to, but with depression. And I'm not a depressive person. I was depressed though. I was depressed. I'm depressed because of not being able to get better, because of not being able to shake this, of not being able to push forward. And, there's faults you shouldn't be having, but when you are now 2 years in and you don't understand what's happening with your body, you've got this sense of self-worthlessness, that you feel like you're just bringing everybody else down, that I'm having a negative impact on those that I love. So, yeah. So then they suggested medication and therapy. But the whole thing with the therapy thing, and one thing that I found really, really hard with this long COVID and everything else, is anxiety. I've never had it before, or not that I've recognised. And phone calls can fill me with dread sometimes. And it's like doing this as well. And feeling, and so to be able to pick up that phone doesn't always, I don't know where to start sometimes. I don't know what to do, what to say. And so I feel like that's beyond me. At the moment, I want to, but I'm not ready to. So I hate the idea of medication, because you're not dealing with the real solution. but medication is where I am. And the emotions. I think I lost my dad and I lost my sister, and there was a lot of stress, and I wasn't looking after myself particularly, and I was going 100 miles an hour, and then I caught COVID, and I think there was a bit of a gateway in. You know, there's all of this trauma, there's all of that stress, because there's going to be people out there that have got long COVID. They don't know they've got long COVID. And there's some of those that definitely know they've got it, because we all get it at varying degrees. And I think there's just gateways in. I think somebody who's experiencing stress, as Oliver explained to me, Dad, somebody who has, we was just studying about the effects of stress on the body, and somebody who has a cold who is very stressful is going to be more like the flu to them than somebody who's not experiencing stress, and they could have the exact same cold and it would just be like a light cold to them. So I think it was like a gateway in, and so for some of us it's kind of hits harder, or there was other illnesses maybe at play, other issues at play, and it's just added to a gateway to a deeper infection. I don't know, I'm not medically educated enough to kind of make sense of it. Dealing with I remember sitting there, so off the back of the booster jabs, I'm sat there one day with Laura, and basically the start of all of this, to kind of come out of it, was not come out of it, but to start to get a handle on it. I was sat there with Laura after one of the booster jabs, and I'm talking to her. I said, "You do realise that I haven't stumbled on my words? I forgot what I'm talking about once, and we've been talking about 40 minutes. She was like, "Yeah." And then I just offloaded, and it felt so emotional and so cathartic, and I just offloaded everything, and I was able to explain to her, I felt like I was in this dark tunnel, that I'm isolating myself, that I don't feel like I can communicate with people on Discord, that I don't feel like I can visit family and friends, that I don't feel like I can do these things, and that I'm isolating myself, but I don't want to be alone. And you know, I'm paranoid about this brain fog and what it's reducing me to, and you know, I'm losing motivation, I'm losing the will. And she knew, but I hadn't voiced it. And it was just kind of being able to communicate relatively succinctly for a working class Londoner. It just highlighted how far I had fallen. So this part of the, because this whole channel was meant to be something completely different. It was just going to be health and fitness and all the rest of it, and I guess to a degree it is still. But my aunt Leslie, if you ever watch this, was at a family barbecue recently, and was like, "Well, you like helping people. You're quite eloquent in the way that you communicate, and you could help others. And I know that that's a big thing, you know. And so this is it. So if you're out there and you're suffering, well, you know, you're not alone, and it'll be nice to know that I'm not alone. I managed to, just before I end, I managed to get, eventually, the doctor, so if anybody's out there, I managed to push, and the doctor eventually put me up for assessment with the long COVID clinic. Now the waiting list is enormous, and I haven't heard anything yet, as in starting, but I got my letter through after my assessment, which said, yes, everything, depression, anxiety, you know, everything was listed, tick, 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 tick. But to have that letter with the NHS heading, "You are a sufferer of long COVID," I got really emotional. I had something in black and white, you know, it's there. You know, this is why. So if you are, try and push, because it felt good to have it acknowledged. It felt good to be able to turn around and say, "This is it. I'm not making it up." Sorry, I'm starting to feel really punchy now. So anybody who made it this far, thank you for watching. The next stuff is going to be updates, talking with certain aspects, Laura, the kids, family life, you know, that sort of stuff. So welcome, thank you. If anybody made it this far, if you're a fellow sufferer, say hi in the comments. Thank you for watching. Hopefully that all kind of made sort of sense. It felt like it came out really, really garbled, but I think it's been in for a long time, and to put it out there, and it's difficult stuff to talk about, particularly when the self-worth, the depression, the self-worthlessness, the self-worth issues, the depression, the energy, the yeah, feeling like, you know, how you're affecting your family. So it's yeah, if you're going for it, don't feel like it's alone. And even if you're not going for it and you're like, feel pity or whatever it is, or you want to say hi, feel free to in the comments. I thank you very much for watching, and see you on the next video. Take care. Bye.